Every dream that dies, dies first in the battlefield of your thoughts. If you don't conquer your thinking, surrender your destiny before you even start, your mind is the steering wheel of your life. Where your thoughts go, your life follows. Negative thinking isn't just noise, it's poison. But here's the good news, you don't have to manage it, you can reset it. Today, I'll give you the mind reset method to stop negative thoughts before they even begin. Negative thoughts are like sparks, tiny, fleeting. But if you allow them to land, they ignite. They burn quietly at first, just like embers hidden under ashes. And before you know it, they consume entire forests of hope, dreams, and vision. Most people don't realize that their greatest enemy has never been another person, another system, or another obstacle. Their greatest enemy has been the silent war inside their own mind. Every battle of destiny is first a battle of thoughts. Every failure is conceived in the womb of a negative idea. Before you can lose in the world, you must first lose in your mind. And if you ever learn to win in your mind, nothing in this world can truly defeat you. The secret to stopping negative thoughts is not to fight them after they've taken root, but to intercept them at the gate. Thought shows up. It is only seeking permission. It cannot control you without your consent. It cannot shape your life without your agreement. You may not control its arrival, but you control its acceptance. This is where many people miss their authority. They assume that if a thought comes, it must be theirs. But not every thought belongs to you. Not every idea is worthy of your attention. Some thoughts are merely intruders, trespassers, trying to infiltrate the territory of your destiny. And a gatekeeper does not negotiate with intruders. A gatekeeper stands firm. What belongs and what must be rejected. The moment a limiting thought appears, speak the opposite truth out loud. Do not let it settle in silence. Silence is the soil where doubt grows. The longer you allow that thought to sit unchallenged, the deeper its roots reach. When a thought whispers, "You're not good enough," you must speak and declare, "I am more than enough for the purpose I was created for." When the mind murmurs, "You can't do this," speak with authority. "I am capable. I am chosen. I am equipped." This is not pretending. This is not denial. This is spiritual warfare. This is guarding the territory of your mind. Your words are your weapons. Your voice is your sword. Thoughts may knock. Declarations decide who gets to enter. Understand this, words are seeds. You speak plants something in the soil of your heart, and what you continually plant will eventually grow. If you speak fear, fear multiplies. If you speak faith, faith multiplies. The atmosphere of your mind is shaped by the language you allow to dwell in it. The universe responds to your voice, not your silence. The future bows to your declarations, not your hesitations. Every time you open your mouth and declare life in the face of doubt, you shift the direction of your destiny. And even if your emotions are trembling, even if your hands are shaking, speak anyway. Because faith is not a feeling. Faith is a decision to agree with truth despite the noise of fear. Guard your mind like a gatekeeper. Nothing enters without your permission. Of us treat our minds like public parks when we should be treating them like royal palaces. In a palace, not everyone gets access. Entry is reserved for those who are invited, approved, and aligned with the king's vision. In the same way, you must become strict about what you allow to enter your mind. Every book you read, every conversation you entertain, every song you replay, every post you scroll through is attempting to plant something inside of you. And if you are not vigilant, the seeds of doubt will sneak in disguised as jokes, as gossip, as realistic advice. But you are not called to be realistic. You are called to be revolutionary. Realism looks at what is, vision sees what can be. Realism accepts defeat. Vision refuses to quit. It says, be careful. But destiny says, be courageous. You must choose what voice you will feed. Starve the voice of fear. Feed the voice of faith every time you choose to meditate on the promises of your purpose. instead of the predictions of your fear, you are building spiritual muscle. You are retraining your mind to submit to your mission. You are proving to yourself that your thoughts are not your master. You are their master. And when you consistently choose what to think, you become unstoppable, because a disciplined mind produces a determined life. Let me tell you something powerful. A thought is not just an idea, it is an architect. Thoughts design the structures your life will live inside. Every word you speak is like laying bricks for the house of your future. If you build with bricks of doubt, you will live in a house of regret. But if you build with bricks of faith, you will live in a fortress of hope. Why? This is why you must intercept negative thoughts while they are still small. It is easier to remove a seed than to uproot a tree, to quench a spark than to extinguish a wildfire. The earlier you challenge the lie, the less power it gains. Here's the truth. No one drifts into greatness. They decide their way into it. No one stumbles into destiny. They speak themselves into it daily. People who change the world are not people who never hear negative thoughts. They are people who refuse to host them. They may feel fear, but they do not feed it. They may hear doubt, but they do not rehearse it. They have trained their inner dialogue to align with their divine purpose. And so must you. You must decide that your inner voice will become your greatest ally, not your greatest enemy. This requires practice. This requires intentionality. You must be willing to pause when a thought comes and interrogate it. Ask, who sent this thought? Where did it come from? Does it agree with the vision for my life? Reflect the truth about who I am created to be. If the answer is no, you evict it. Do not let it take residence in your mind. Do not give it a couch to sit on. Do not give it a cup of tea. Escort it out and lock the door behind it. And then immediately replace it with truth. Not just any truth, but truth about your identity. Because once you know who you are, power. Say it until your spirit believes it. I am capable. I am chosen. I am equipped. Say it until your voice shakes less. Say it until your mind stops resisting it. Say it until your heart begins to agree. Repetition builds revelation. May resist what is unfamiliar, but it will accept what it hears consistently. If you keep planting seeds of faith, eventually they will choke out the weeds of fear. If you keep watering words of life, they will grow stronger than the whispers of death. Your persistence will become your power. Remember, your life moves in the direction of your most dominant thoughts. If you think defeat, you will walk like a defeated person. If you think victory, you will carry yourself like someone destined to win. Your thoughts create your posture. Your posture attracts your future. The greatest transformation begins not with changing your environment, not with changing your habits, but with changing your thoughts. Because when your thinking changes, everything changes. Opportunities see you differently. People respond to you differently. Life aligns with the new blueprint you are carrying inside your mind. Do not underestimate this. You are the architect of your mental world, and whatever you build, they will manifest in the physical. If you build fear inside, you will see fear outside. If you build faith inside, you will see doors open that others said were impossible. You will see provision come from unexpected places. You will see favor follow you like a shadow, because the mind is not just a container, it is a compass. And when your compass points toward purpose, every storm will eventually serve your journey. So guard your mind. Stand watch. Speak life. Every time you defeat a negative thought at the gate, you protect the destiny that thought came to steal. Every time you speak truth over yourself, you are building the inner strength needed to carry your outer assignment. Every time you declare, I am capable, I am chosen, I am equipped, you are not just saying words, you are activating your identity. You are aligning with the future that already exists for you. The spark cannot burn what the gatekeeper refuses to let in. Your mind becomes what it is most exposed to. It is like fertile soil, waiting silently for whatever seeds are sown into it. It does not argue. It does not resist. It simply grows what it is given. And this is where many people unknowingly sabotage their own destiny. They want to rise, but they live in an atmosphere that pulls them down. They pray for clarity, yet surround themselves with confusion. They dream of greatness, yet they plant themselves in environments poisoned with doubt. They do not realize that the atmosphere they live in is quietly shaping the architecture of their thinking. The mind absorbs the climate around it the way the skin absorbs sunlight, slowly, silently, and completely. If you constantly absorb negativity, it will reproduce in you. It will not stay external, it will become internal. If you sit in fear long enough, fear will start speaking with your voice. If you sit among small minds long enough, smallness will disguise itself as your truth. The people you listen to, the voices you allow to echo inside your soul, the content you consume, the conversations you tolerate, these are not harmless background noise. They are sculpting your mental world. They are chiseling your belief system. They are programming your self-concept line by line, word by word, without you even noticing it. One day, you wake up and wonder why you feel powerless, confused, doubtful, hesitant, heavy. It is because you have been breathing in a polluted atmosphere. Atmosphere is everything with great potential will rot if they are planted in toxic soil. The problem is not the seed. The problem is the soil. Many people think they are broken because their dreams are not growing, when in truth they are simply planted in the wrong place. Cannot become a tree if the environment around it is choking it. You are not failing because you are incapable. You are failing because you are suffocating in an atmosphere that contradicts your calling. If you want to change your life, you must first change your environment. If you want to renew your mind, you must renovate your surroundings. Clean your environment of toxic voices. This will be uncomfortable, but it is necessary. You cannot heal in the same place that keeps hurting you. You cannot think boldly while living among those who mock courage. You cannot believe deeply while listening to people who profit from your doubt. Some relationships are like chains. They wrap themselves around your imagination until you forget how high you were born to fly. There are people whose words constantly leak poison into your spirit. Cynicism, criticism, fear, gossip, jealousy. Every time you talk to them, your energy drops, your faith shrinks, and your vision blurs. You walk away from the conversation feeling smaller than when you entered. That is not loyalty. That is sabotage dressed as friendship. You must have the courage to walk away from what no longer aligns with your future. Stop waiting for their approval. It is not required for your assignment. Stop shrinking to fit into spaces you have outgrown. Stop apologizing for wanting peace more than popularity. Your mental environment is sacred ground. Not everyone deserves to walk on it. Not everyone should have access to your mind. Protect it like your life depends on it, because it does. The quality of your thoughts determines the quality of your future, and your thoughts are shaped by what you are surrounded by. You must cleanse your environment of doubtful people. Doubt is contagious. It spreads like smoke. You cannot stand too close to it without inhaling it. And once it enters your mind, it clouds your vision. It makes you second guess what you once knew with certainty. Doubtful people are often not malicious. They are simply afraid. But fear, when left unchallenged, becomes a disease. And if you allow their fear to speak louder than your faith, slowly lower your expectations to match their comfort zone. You will call it being realistic. But it is actually surrender. You were not born to be realistic. You were born to be revolutionary. Doubtful people will tell you to be careful when you are supposed to be courageous. They will call your vision impossible because it is too big for their imagination. They will laugh at your dream because they buried theirs a long time ago. If you listen long enough, you will begin to see your purpose through their broken lenses. That is why you must guard your inner circle with fierce discernment. Career. Not everyone who claps for you is committed to you. Not everyone who walks with you is walking in the same direction. If they cannot see what you see, if they do not nurture what God planted in you, if they constantly pull your focus down to the level of fear, you must create distance. And you must remove negative content from your daily diet. Your mind is consuming something every minute of the day. What you consume becomes what you create. If you constantly scroll through comparison, you will breed insecurity. If you constantly feed on outrage, you will produce bitterness. If you continually expose yourself to chaos, your soul will forget what peace feels like. Your mind becomes a reflection of what you repeatedly allow into it. If you want to think differently, you must listen differently. If you want to rise, you must be intentional about the voices that rise around you. Surround yourself with purpose, driven voices that lift, not limit, your vision. Build an atmosphere that breathes faith into your bones. Seek out voices that call you higher, not drag you lower. Sit at the feet of people who speak to your potential, not your fears. Read books that stretch your thinking. Listen to messages that ignite your soul. Have conversations with people who awaken your courage. If you cannot find them nearby, find them in books, in recordings, in the lives of those who have gone before you. Greatness leaves clues, and wisdom echoes through history if you are willing to listen. Purpose-driven voices will not let you stay comfortable in small thinking. They will stretch you. They will remind you who you are when you forget. They will not let you settle for survival when you were born to lead. When you talk to them, your faith will rise, your imagination will awaken, and your spirit will catch fire again. This is the kind of environment your destiny requires. This is the atmosphere where greatness breathes. Understand this: your mental environment is not something that just happens to you. It is something you build. You are the architect of your atmosphere. Every choice you make is a brick in the house of your mind. Every voice you allow is paint on the walls of your soul. Every conversation you entertain is furniture in the living room of your thoughts. Career. If you do not like the mental environment you are living in, you have the power to remodel it. You do not need anyone's permission to begin. Replace one toxic habit with one life-giving habit. Replace 10 minutes of social media noise with 10 minutes of silence and reflection. Replace one draining conversation with one uplifting one. Day by day, decision by decision, you will shift the climate of your inner world. And once the climate shifts, everything changes. You will think differently, you will speak differently, you will walk differently. You will begin to attract opportunities that match your new mindset, because your outer world always mirrors your inner atmosphere. Change the air you breathe, and you change the life you live. You were never meant to be a product of your environment. You were meant to be the architect of it. You are not at the mercy of the voices around you. You have the authority to choose which voices shape you. Choose carefully. Because the right environment will activate your purpose, and the wrong environment will assassinate it. Protect your atmosphere. Feed your mind with truth. Surround your life with people and voices that lift your spirit higher than your fears. Your mind is sacred soil. Plant only what you want to grow. You can't stop birds from flying overhead, but you can stop them from nesting. You can't stop every negative thought from appearing, every worry from knocking at the door, or every fear from whispering its poison into your ear, but you can choose whether those thoughts build a home in your mind or simply pass by as temporary visitors. The difference between a mind consumed by chaos and a mind anchored in peace is not the absence of storms, but the presence of daily discipline. Single day, life will try to scatter distractions into your mind like seeds carried by the wind. And if you do nothing, if you let them settle, they will take root and grow into weeds that choke your vision. You must create a daily reset ritual, a sacred practice that renews your mind before the world pollutes it. Your mind is the control center of your destiny. Whatever dominates your mind will direct your life. And if you allow yesterday's failures Today's anxieties or tomorrow's fears to build nests in your mind, they will shape the way you walk, talk, and see yourself. That is why the first battle of every day must be fought and won in your mind before you engage the world. This ritual is not a luxury. It is oxygen for your soul. It is the anchor that holds you steady when the winds of doubt and disappointment howl. It is the flame that keeps your inner light burning when everything around you tries to dim it. Imagine starting each morning not by reaching for your phone, not by scrolling through the chaos of other people's lives, but by sitting still and centering your soul. Imagine opening your day with gratitude, speaking words of life over your own heart, and grounding yourself in silence before the noise of the world begins. This is how warriors prepare. This is how champions are built. They do not stumble into strength. They cultivate it intentionally, daily, consistently. Every sunrise becomes an opportunity to reset yesterday and to recommit to your purpose. Gratitude is the key that unlocks the door to peace. When you awaken, deliberately list the things you are thankful for. Your breath, your body, your opportunities, your lessons. You shift the atmosphere of your mind. Gratitude dissolves the fog of fear. It reminds your heart that even if you are not where you want to be, you are not where you used to be. It forces your eyes to see blessings where you once saw burdens. It trains your mind to search for the good instead of the gaps. And when your heart is full of gratitude, there is no room left for resentment, comparison, or self-pity. Gratitude is not denial of difficulty, the decision to focus on what is still working while you rebuild what is broken. After gratitude, speak affirmations, not empty words, but declarations of identity and destiny. Say them boldly. Say them until they echo louder than doubt, until they become the soundtrack of your soul. I am chosen. I am chosen, equip. I am not defined by my past. I am propelled by my purpose. I will not be distracted by noise. I will be driven by vision. These words are not lies. They are seeds. You speak plants something in the soil of your mind. And if you water those seeds daily with repetition, they will take root and grow into unshakable confidence. The world will try to name you based on your scars, but you must name yourself based on your calling. Your words create the world you walk in. And after you've filled your heart with gratitude and your mind with truth, enter into silence. Not the silence of emptiness, silence of presence. Be still, breathe deeply, let your soul rest in the quiet. Because in that silence, what the noise of the world drowns out, the whisper of clarity, the voice of peace, the gentle reminder that you are more than your schedule, more than your to-do list, more than what you produce. In the silence, you remember who you are. In the silence, your spirit catches up with your body. In the silence, your inner compass recalibrates. The strength is renewed and vision is sharpened. If you do not reset daily, you will drift. And drifting is dangerous because it is silent. You don't notice you've drifted until you can no longer see the shore. This is how people lose themselves, not in sudden explosions of chaos, but in the slow erosion of their focus. They wake up and react to life instead of directing it. They run on autopilot, powered by old wounds, outdated fears, and borrowed expectations. But when you create a daily reset ritual, you reclaim authorship of your life. Stop being a passive passenger and become the captain of your soul. You break the cycle of reaction and build a rhythm of intention. You stop surviving your days and start designing them. Every morning you are given a blank page. The pen is in your hand. What will you write? Will you let the echoes of yesterday dictate today's story, or will you write a new chapter? Reset ritual is your reset button, your reminder that no matter how messy yesterday was, today is untainted. Every day you reset. Every day you rise, you grow stronger. And the stronger you become internally, the less the external chaos can shake you. Do not underestimate how powerful small daily habits can be. Mountains are moved by consistent drops of water, and destinies are shaped by consistent drops of discipline. 5 minutes of gratitude can shift the tone of your entire day. 10 minutes of affirmations can rewire your beliefs. 15 minutes of silence can renew your spirit. Start small, but start. You do not need to overhaul your life overnight. You need only to anchor it each morning. And as you stay faithful to this ritual, your mind will grow immune to the world's negativity. Doubt will visit, but not stay. Fear will knock, but not enter. Comparison will but not distract. Because your mind will be fortified. Your spirit will be full. Your purpose will be clear. You must understand you are not a victim of your thoughts. You are the architect of your atmosphere. A consistently allow will eventually define you. If you keep feeding your mind chaos, chaos will live in you. But if you feed it purpose, peace will flourish. Your reset ritual is how you choose what you allow. It is how you guard the gates of your mind. It is how you protect the garden of your heart from the weeds of the world. Some will mock your ritual. They will say, you are wasting time. Let them laugh. While they are chasing noise, you are cultivating peace. While they are scrolling for validation, you are building vision. While they are drowning in distraction, you are rising in discipline. And soon, the fruit of your focus will speak louder than their opinions. Greatness is not built in public. It is built in the private discipline no one applauds. Every world changer was first a self-changer. External revolution began with an internal reset. There will be days you don't feel like doing it. Do it anyway. It is not about feelings. It is about faithfulness. Feelings are like weather. They change without warning. But discipline is like a foundation. It holds steady regardless of the storm. And if you build your ritual on discipline, not emotion, carry you through every season. There will be mornings when gratitude feels forced, affirmations feel fake, silence feels uncomfortable. That is normal. Do it anyway. Because the goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. The power is not in how eloquent your words are, but in how often you speak them. The power is not in how long you sit in silence, but in how faithfully you return to it. Over time, these small acts will rewire your mind and reshape your identity. You were never meant to live at the mercy of your moods. You were meant to master them. And mastery comes through daily maintenance. A warrior sharpens their sword every day, not just on the day of battle. A musician tunes their instrument every day, not just on the day of performance. And you must renew your mind every day, not just on the day of crisis. Because by the time the crisis comes, to prepare, you must already be fortified. That is what your reset ritual does. It prepares you in advance. It builds mental immunity so that when life throws its punches, your peace stands firm. Understand this. Life will not slow down to protect your peace. The world will not pause to ask if your mind is okay. You must make the pause. You must create the stillness. You must claim your mornings as sacred. Because if you don't, the world will claim them for you. With anxiety, noise, and distraction before you have even opened your eyes. So take back your mornings. Guard them fiercely. Treat them as the birthplace of your destiny. And as you do, you will notice something miraculous. The same circumstances that once overwhelmed you will no longer shake you. The same pressures that once crushed you will now polish you. The same chaos that once consumed you will now be unable to enter the fortress of your mind, because you will have built something stronger. You will have built mental immunity. You will have built emotional resilience. You will have built spiritual strength. You will no longer be tossed by the waves of life, because you will have anchored your soul. This is the power of a daily reset ritual. It transforms your mind from a battlefield into a sanctuary. It transforms your mornings from frantic to focused. It transforms you from reactive to intentional. And when you live with intention, you live with impact. So rise tomorrow with purpose. Speak life. Before the noise invades, sit in silence. Before fear whispers, shout gratitude. Before doubt creeps in, this is how you rise. This is how you rise. This is how you build a mind that is unshakable, a heart that is unbreakable, and a life that is unstoppable. You have the power to do this. Not someday, not when life gets easier today. Right now is waiting, and it will only arrive when your mind is ready to receive it. So build the ritual. Keep the ritual, and let that ritual build the future you were born to live. You were created to lead, not to be led by fear. You were born to rise, not to sink under doubt. The mind reset method isn't about thinking positive, it's about thinking on purpose. Start today. Guard your mind, shape your world, and step boldly into your destiny